And most people felt like I was complaining, like, listen, you have somebody paying all your bills. You get to sit home. You don't have to go out and work. But listen, this was my life. It was chaotic. Like, I was running a household full of 11 because no one did anything. No one even cleaned up after self. And I just had a breaking point. That breaking point led to me asking God for help, for some guidance, because I really didn't know where to start in my healing journey, just escaping depression and not wanting to slip back into it. I realized that the overstimulation is what was keeping me in depression. At the time, I was weak mentally and physically, like just climbing out of depression. You are so exhausted. So God put on my heart to start with me. I couldn't control what was out of control in that moment, my home, my family. So I only could control what I was able to do. And I started with self-care, which I so lacked. And I really focused and zeroed in on my hair, which is mainly the only thing I could really manage at the time. This is how much hair I have. Shortly after that, Delvon, my fourth born, had a leg injury during his basketball game, and that took all of my attention. I immediately jumped into being his caregiver while still caring for 8 other children. And he had such a hard recovery. It wasn't just him recovering physically. He had to recover emotionally and mentally because basketball was his passion, still is his passion. At the time, I continued my self-care. That's something I refused to back out on, and that really made a difference in me being able to show up fully for all my kids. As we began to settle into Delvon's recovery, that's when we were hit with a notice that we needed to vacate the house we were renting. We end up being displaced because being a caregiver, managing a household of 11, and still needing to show up to try to search for housing and pack up a house, it was nearly impossible. We end up procrastinating, resorting and having 24 hours to get all of our stuff out, which resulted in us throwing away 90% of our belongings. I have our houseless journey uploaded onto our page. You can go and look over the chapters. It's about 11 chapters, and it takes you in my journey of how I navigated each day of that 11-day period of how trying to find housing, trying to get the house together, trying to get my kids together. We did become displaced, and when we did find the new housing, that's when I enforced positive parenting. Not only did I need to continue to heal, I needed to make sure my family was healing too, because this was big for us to lose all of our belongings, to go through something so detrimental to our livelihood, to our comfort, to our security. We all needed to heal. That's when I started vlogging, taking y'all along with me, making sure I got up each day, turning my face towards the sun to set the tone of positivity. Each day I got up was an indication that mama hasn't thrown in the towel, that we are still going to live no matter what we've been through. So subsequent content is us climbing out of this very dark place. Is this mom of 9 finding who she was? Is me showing y'all how to live after dying. So this community is a little bit deeper than most content creators. This community is saving lives. This community is bringing